Okay, welcome back, friends. Braxton's Game Room, 3 Days Gettysburg review, the full battle. Currently on the... We've got the July 2nd, 0900 turn. Let's see, where were we last time? Well, things were looking bad for the Union Army. And it's gotten worse, and there's a little rays of hope, but it's still a pretty dire situation. Where to start? Well, let's take a look. We got Sykes' 5th Corps here has been able to move up and help form a line here, bolstering together with elements of Gibbon's Corps. Gibbon's division from Hancock's Corps, who's moved up, fixed a makeshift line here to try and stop the onslaught of, we got Johnson's division, Early's division, and Rhodes' division from Ewell's Corps are making the push down here. You can see they've taken the victory hexes here on Culp's Hill and over here on Cemetery Hill as well. The Confederates aren't going to win this battle, though, this game, from the geographical locations. It's definitely going to be from division combat ineffectiveness for the Union, which they need 12 of. The other areas, they would have to take Little Round Top, which is still a possibility if I played out the entire game. I highly doubt it's going to go that long. Just really quickly, I digressed a little bit. At the end of last turn, the 0800 turn, we had 10 Union combat ineffective divisions. Good for the Union. They have actually, through some excellent rallying, they are down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, back down to 7. I was able to rally elements from Schurt's division, Steinwehr, and part of Wadsworth's as well. I'll have to double check Wadsworth, though. I think a lot of his units were destroyed, so that may not be true. But we're down to at least 8, so they probably won back 2 divisions. But they also... Oh, you know what? I forgot to mark. We've got... Oh, no. Let's see. 1, 2... Well, Caldwell's division from Hancock's Corps just got... The middle of his division got smashed by John Bell Hood's division, which came on the far southern flank of the Union Army. And but they're not combat effective yet. It's getting close. Okay. Back to what's going on up here. You can see there's just a kind of the small horseshoe that the Union's been able to hang on to. Yeah, Johnson's division didn't do a lot of pushing this last turn. They were trying to recover some of their units. It's going to be tough for them to break down the line here of this part of the Union line. Although I think this area right here, there's a pretty big hole. And, you know, you've got elements of Rhodes and Heath's Corps getting ready to push through. It's going to be tough for the Union to stop that. They're building Anderson's division. The rebels is pretty beat up. They're having a hard time breaking through elements of Williams' division down here. And the Confederates, let's just say, the Confederates begin to get worn out a little bit, which is to be expected with the amount of fighting that they've been doing. Now, the biggest, probably the new area where there's going to be a lot of action is down here in front of Devil's Den. We've got Hayes' division from 2nd Corps is moving up to support the battered remnants of what's left from Sickles' 3rd Corps. That would be Birney's division, taking a beating from Pender. Now, Pender is taking a lot of... he's got a few collapsed units back here, and he's taken a lot of losses. His units are probably halved in strength, so... Perfect timing. We've got McLaw's division coming up here. The rest of the guys from Hood's Corps are cruising up. We got a little bit of a flanking maneuver down here to the south of Devil's Den. Looks like they're going to be working their way up through here. And then we got a frontal assault coming up to where these breastworks are. Can Hancock's boys stop them? Because if they get through here, you can see they can cut off this whole northern part of the army. And the Union isn't really getting any more significant reinforcements until I think it's 1500 when you got Sedgwick's 6th Corps coming in down here. But by then, unless the Union can turn it around, I just don't see how they'll be able to turn it around and cause that many more, you know, to cause enough casualties with the Confederates to enable to actually win the game. Yeah, if you go over here, you know, there's a few divisions in the Confederates that are taking some beatings. We got Rhodes' division and Anderson's division are getting close to being combat ineffective. But you look at Early's, Johnson's, Heath's, and Pender's, even though Pender is pretty beat up, and Hood, they're doing pretty well overall. Not too many dead rebels either, but if you come down here to the amount of dead Yankees, it's insurmountable. You know, I've learned a lot playing this game, and I'll say that I know, you know, I started this game back this last summer, and here it is springtime. It was the end of last summer. And, you know, I've learned a lot about this system, and I'm sure I've made a few mistakes here and there. To where maybe it gave an advantage to one side or the other. I mean, it looks like it would have been the advantage of the Confederates because they've been able to do what they're doing. But I have read a lot of reviews of this, and unless the Union can really, you know, mount a good defense and maybe counterattack in certain areas, the Confederates just have too much momentum, and it's really tough to beat them. Someday after I'm done with this, I may want to try this again. We shall see. It's quite the undertaking, taking up my game room for so long. Trying to think. I think that's probably about it. Now, the one real quick side note I'll say, this is the 1000 term, which is coming up, is where I have to decide as the Union whether or not to remove the rest of John Buford's cavalry division. If I do, then they will get reinforcements later in the game. I think there's 3 more cavalry brigades which will be coming in. It's likely that I will be removing Buford, and the Union needs as much help as possible. Not like dismounted cavalry is going to do a lot of good, but I suppose it's worth it. We'll see what happens. I'm going to play this out as long as I can until somebody loses for sure, and perhaps I'll try to be maybe a little bit more aggressive with the Union this next turn now that they've got some reserves up, and maybe we can cause some casualties with the Confederates. Great game, still having fun, and I will see you after the 1000 turn. Remember, this has taken about 70 activation markers now to get through each turn, so it takes me a little while. All right, until then, I will see you next time. Thanks very much.